Howdy everyone! In this video I'm going to be briefly covering how I turned my boring walking simulator into the foundation for my upcoming survival horror boomer shooter. If you guys have been keeping up with my devlogs, and by devlogs I mean singular devlog, and by keeping up with I mean having tuned in 9 months ago, well, you'd realize my development definitely hit a bit of a roadblock. However, in the last month or so, I've totally saved the game by deleting it. Okay. Maybe I didn't actually delete it per se, but I did abandon it, occasionally visiting it in its dungeon to pick it apart and cannibalize its flesh for my other projects. The thing is, I spent hundreds of hours on this now abandoned project. I neglected relationships, sleep, and school just to squeeze out as much dev time as I could per day. On many days, I wrote more lines of code than I consumed calories. But the thing is, I didn't actually have a plan for my game beyond a dream and a few sentences in a notepad document. I can't find it, but I'm almost certain it wasn't any more specific than make cool game and spend 300 hours on assets before you even add a single element of real gameplay. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that despite the months of self-inflicted unpaid overtime that I slaved through, I never added any gameplay. You know, the thing that makes a game, it literally, wasn't even there. For Christ's sake, the pistol even had a fully modeled firing pin, and I hadn't even added basic enemy AI. So, I eventually burned out. With nothing to truly polish or elaborate on in any meaningful, thought-out way, I gave up on the project forever. Which is what I would say if a few months ago, I didn't realize that I actually still really liked the idea and the vision of the game. I just didn't like how I went about it on my first or second, but we don't talk about that one, try. I decided to pick the idea up again, and that this time I'd make my game, a game, and I'd start this journey not in a game engine, but in a spiral notebook. I wrote out a step-by-step development roadmap. I drew character designs, gameplay ideas, user interface layouts, and so on. I even wrote whole pages on features that I'd scrap literally within the same day. But unlike my last attempt at this game, scrapping a feature early on didn't mean dozens of hours down the drain. It just meant the 30 minutes or so that I had spent scribbling in a notebook. Gone were the days of sitting in front of my computer, directionless until I settled on some random feature that no one will even see after I ultimately scrapped the project. So I went to add it, adding movement, then UI, then items, then consumables and interactables and enemy eye and weather and menus and saving and... Well, now that you're all up to speed, here's the new and improved concept for my game, followed by what I have implemented so far. The game will be a boomer shooter, similar to the likes of Serious Sam or Doom, that revolves around your character collecting money from hunting monsters in an attempt to satiate a big greedy cat's hunger for vending machine snacks. On top of the cat that you must satiate, lest he locks you out of your only safe haven until you pay a hefty fee, there will be shopkeepers who will sell more powerful wares and ammos. You must choose wisely between feeding these shopkeepers, thus retaining access to their exclusive wares, or saving your money as a safety net for the greedy cat's ever-increasing appetite. The game's main gimmick, which will keep each endgame day from just melding into the next, is the dynamic weather system. The time of day, precipitation, and special events will all affect the world in unique ways. For example, nighttime could spawn more enemies in the day, rain could slow them down and obscure their noises, and a blood moon could increase their speed and even spawn event-unique monsters. These events will increase in frequency, variety, and threat level as you reach later days. So, on top of the appetite of the greedy cat and the demand of the shopkeepers, you must allot yourself enough supplies to brave the ever-increasing hostility of your environment. And did I mention that there will be permadeath? Which means every scratch, bite, or burn will push you further into the grave. It will be up to you to decide whether or not you enter your tomb face first, or kicking and screaming until the end. So, on to what I have so far. The current iteration of the game is a simple wave defense shooter, not dissimilar to Call of Duty Zombies. I've thrown this mode together for the sake of testing balance and polishing game feel as I implement new features. You just click a button, and enemies begin to spawn. First intermittently and then near constantly as waves progress. You can buy weapons and ammo from certain spots on the map, as I am yet to implement the shopkeepers and their safe zone, though that is coming soon. The day cycles and precipitation events have their own unique ambience, and the events are set up to eventually have unique music tracks. All of the events dynamically change the speed of the enemies. For example, a blood moon increases their speed, while the rain reduces it. The only current enemy type is a slow walker type enemy, as it was the simplest to put together for testing, though more are soon to come. The highest wave any of the playtesters have gotten to yet is 20, beating my own personal high score by 5. Though this mode is simple, the feedback I've received has confirmed that the foundation is strong and that my efforts to optimize my game development workflow have not been in vain. All it took to really get a footing on my project was to start over and come at it from a new angle. This time, I will not fail. Bruh, that's cringe. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all the current playtesters. Your feedback has been invaluable, and the game would be a shell of even its current pre-alpha state without you guys. And a huge thank you to the people who've already made contributions to the project or are planning to in the future. If you want to not only playtest my game and have an active impact on the future of the project, but also to see your name, not only at the end of every future devlog, but in the game's credits as well, come swing by the Discord server linked in the description and give me a shout. Okay, that's all. See ya laters. And shit.